This should be fun!
Family don't end with blood.
I regret this already.
Hello? Not an idiot. See ya!
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Give him the bits!
The bits! The bits!
The things I do for love.
I will never, ever turn my back on people who need me. Cartoons.
This episode contains themes of bugs, canon typical violence, and discourse from the manga. I'm sorry in advance.
Hello!
Hello. And welcome back
Take 3.
Electric Boogaloo.
to Why Should I Watch That?
Why should I watch
Why
that?
should I watch that? Why should I watch that?
Woo.
I'm Myra.
I'm Sam.
I am rage incarnate, for I have been robbed.
We've all been robbed.
Yeah, we've all been
We've
robbed.
been robbed.
Like, harshly robbed?
Mhm.
It's not even like a, we robbed you of a little bit.
It's not even like my coin purse. Where is it? No, I have no house or home anymore. My pets, gone. My bed, gone.
My legendary items, gone.
My blue eyes white dragon,
gone.
The linked under said bed, also gone.
Also gone.
Didn't even leave me linked.
Yeah. Nothing.
So what are we discussing this week?
A tragedy.
Number 6. Or no 6.
No 6?
Number
Number
6. It's, I don't know.
Who knows?
NO.6.
Yeah.
Correct.
Whichever way you want to take it. It's first impressions, because we
first
haven't seen
impressions.
it.
Yeah, y'all get to do first impressions. Ha.
Okay, so when I was first... I'll start off, I guess.
For context, I don't think I told them anything about it except it's kind of gay.
Yeah, they were like, oh...
You didn't even say that!
No, he did. He did. He's like, look at these, the soft light-colored boy and the dark-colored boy. Like,
I know I did because I read myself to filth on which one of them I used to stan.
I was not in this conversation.
Okay, it might have been a Dunkin' Donuts, I'm sorry.
And so I had no idea what I was getting into, and then they're like, loyalty to the state, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, and then I'm like, oh wait, Americans do that too, ew! And then they have the whole giver vibe thing at the end, and it was just like, the fuck, and it's a wild ride, and the manga's wilder.
I have words.
That's my first impressions. Not very cohesive, but Myra.
So my first impressions, all I knew was Jay was like, this is a great anime. That was it.
I really liked this anime until I read the manga and then I was angry.
So that was that was me going in. But you know what? It was the same sort of deal of like Sam and Jay with Yuri on Ice. They just knew that I was like, Yuri on Ice.
That's not a fair comparison because
No.
I knew a lot about Yuri on Ice going into it. And
I
I was like, no, I not only do I trust Myra, it's Yuri on Ice.
It's the gay men on ice skates. What else? Like that, I knew that. I knew nothing about No 6.
No one ever talks about this anime, and I'm pretty sure it's because
This.
Because they
we'll
fucked
talk
it
about
up.
it. We'll talk about it.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm being quiet.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna watch this for,
Anime
it's
month.
anime month, so let's do it. I need to get into new animes because I'm done repeating the same ones I've watched like 20 million fucking times. I started watching it, and I was like, oh Jay, what the fuck did you get me into? I was like,
That's fair. That's fair.
like the first 2 episodes, I was like, damn it, I guess I'm gonna sit through this.
That's fair. That's fair.
I guess I'm good. I don't see what's so good. And then the little subtleties of the gay couple, I was like, okay, I could deal with this. It's gonna have some fun in it, I think. And then
But then they cut it out.
no,
Don't talk about that yet.
and then you get to episode 3, and the fucking weird bee shit happens, and
That's fair.
and weird ass fucking shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, are we on the same fucking anime?
That's very true. That was the same vibe I got, because like the intro and like the first couple of episodes don't match at all. And I was like this brown-haired, dark-eyed boy. And then the intro's like blonde with like red eyes.
Blonde, it's white.
It's white-haired kid with a weird scar on his face and red eyes, and I'm like,
who the fuck are you?
And then I'm like, when the fuck does someone become like a total albino? Like, who fuck turns into an albino? Where is this albino shit we see in the beginning? And I'm like, I don't see him anywhere. And the intro with them
dematerializing or something.
Yeah, like if they're in a computer. So I thought maybe like it was like a sword online sort of deal. And I was like, okay, but I don't see how this is connecting.
I just want you to know I will never make you sit through Sword Art Online.
I've seen it. I put myself through that shit.
I'm so sorry.
Caesar put me through that shit.
That makes sense. I'm sorry, Caesar. You have poor taste.
Okay, season 1 was good. Season 2, you're like, what the motherfucking shit is going on?
Season 1 stopped being 2/3 of the way through when they suddenly were like, also the game ended early. Fight!
Yes. Okay, fair.
That was
fair. That is fair. And then season 2, you're like, bitch, I thought this wasn't gonna happen!
Season 2, they were like, we forgot that we have a lot of fans, so like, just kidding, we're back. No!
Yes!
And then they went, also, did we say feminism rights? Actually, what we meant is the girl's trapped in the tower and the boy has to save her.
And then there's the whole incest thing.
Well, anyway.
Sorry.
Bringing it back.
So here I was going, it's some weird, maybe Code Lyoko shit, where I'm like...
that I would make you sit through, that's fair.
I'm like, there's some weird shit going on, and I don't see it. And then the B shit happens, and I'm like, okay.
They technically slip up the translation multiple times.
Yeah, because the first time you're introduced to them, it's B, and then halfway through the series, it goes into wasp.
It looks
literally
like a wasp.
Literally through the manga, they said bee and wasp in the same sentence, so it doesn't matter.
They're not interchangeable though.
I think the kanji might be really close,
or
maybe there's not a lot of differentiation between them. I don't actually know.
The shape, honestly, is a wasp, but the coloring is a bee.
Yeah.
Well, yellow jackets though.
We're not talking about bugs right now. Put it down. Pick it up. Take it. Pick it up. Now put it down. Put it down. Leave it there. Okay. Continue.
I'm sorry.
So, once this bee shit happened, I was like, okay, I can vibe with this. Some weird shit's gonna happen, something better. And then the whole time I'm like, someone answer my goddamn questions!
That's the whole anime.
The anime ends and you're like, okay, but like, wait, come back.
I still have questions!
OP, where did you go? You have to answer for these crimes.
You can't just leave it like that.
And
Crunch.
We get the fucking manga, and I'm pissed. And that's where I'm ending it.
Okay.
Okay, may I handle the source material?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm
so ready.
So,
I think the source material is gonna lead into discussion because what the motherfucking shit.
Let me try and get the base stuff down.
Yeah, no. I figured
I'll try and fly through it.
Yeah, you'll get the base stuff down and then we'll go into...
Go for the summary.
Okay. So, I'm not reading off every episode summary because, again, it's an anime and they're like, let me just tell you everything that happens from beginning, middle, to end. So we're just going over the plot from fandom.com. The story takes place in an ideal city known as Number 6, or No 6. Shion, a boy raised in the elite and privileged environment of his home, gives shelter to another boy who only gives his name as Nezumi during the former's 12th birthday. After spending a rainy night with his new friend, Shion discovers the next morning that Nezumi has left and disappeared without a trace. 4 years later, Shion experiences a spate of incidents around him in which a deadly infection by parasitic wasp makes its victims age rapidly. Shion's co-worker is one of the victims and Shion is arrested on suspicion of murder. Whilst Shion is being transported to the Correctional Institute, Nezumi appears and rescues him. Shion begins to find out the hidden truth behind the ideal city No 6. Number 6.
Number 6.
Sorry.
No worries.
This is one of those things that I watched on my own. I didn't talk to anyone about. So when I said no 6 after I read it like that, no one corrected me. So now I'm like, wait, number?
Number
Yeah,
6.
no, 6.
That's it. Just 6.
And that's the summary. That's all I got.
So it was the general info is it is a dystopian mystery genre written Atsuko Asano,
Mhm.
Published by Kodansha.
I can't see it.
Kodansha.
Probably.
Kodansha.
Kodansha. Yep.
Kodansha.
Oh, hold on.
Imprint
Jesus
by.
Christ. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's why I keep pausing because
Oh,
you're.
hold on. Did you specify that you're reading off the stuff of the novel series right now?
Oh, yes. Sorry. This is from the novel. Because there's a novel, a manga, and an anime. Who knew? Imprint by YA Entertainment. Original run from October 10th, 2003 to June 14th, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
This shit's old.
So there are 9 volumes. That's valid.
It's very valid. I own 1 and 2. Not all of them.
The manga is written by the same person, Atsuko Asano. Illustrated by Hinoki Kino. Published by Konadasha.
Kodanasha.
Kodanasha. English publisher. One more time.
Kodanasha. Kodanasha.
Kodanasha.
USA.
Magazine by area. Demographic. Shoujo.
Mm-hmm.
Shoujo?
Technically, this counts as a shoujo because for the first part of the series, you follow the characters and their lives, and the second half of the series has all the action in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the entire series isn't action, it's classified as a shoujo.
Okay.
Oh.
Not all shoujos take place in a classroom. Sometimes they're about 2 gays running about the dystopian universe together, fighting bees.
I did sort of like that.
Fighting bees! Original run, March 11th to December... March 2011 to December 2013. Again, 9 volumes. The anime television series was directed... the original person was not involved in...
Oh,
It
you don't
shows.
fucking say!
It fucking shows.
I'm so... I feel vindicated. Bones, you do great work, but not when someone who doesn't know what they're doing is piloting you.
Yep.
Directed by Kenji Nagasaki. Written by Seishi?
Seishi. So, to help, they're usually broken up every 2 to 3 letters.
Okay.
So, and if it ends in a vowel, that's where you should probably end. So, mi, na, ka, mi.
Minakami.
There you go.
Music by Kishi?
Nope.
Keiichi?
Oh, sorry, can you zoom? Keiichi Suzuki. The last one was me.
Yeah. I was like, I knew that
Keiichi Car.
Studios Bones. Licensed by Siren Visual. And Sentai Filmworks. Expired. Original network.
That's why it's not anywhere.
What?
Don't worry about it. Move on.
Fuji TV. And its original run was from July 7th, 2011 to September 15th, 2011. And there's only 11 episodes. They're about 20 minutes each, so...
If I remember correctly, Sentai is the distributor that typically works with, North America. Isn't that what it says? NA?
NA, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we couldn't find it on Crunchyroll. Their licensing is expired. So technically they can't carry it anymore.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, this is probably the only time you'll hear me say this on air. This one we kind of had to watch a little not legally, but because it's physically not available in our country right now.
I was wondering. Yeah, because I went on Amazon and Amazon says it's not available in your country, and I was like,
it's
maybe
very
I can
uncommon for us.
change the VPN.
American privilege.
Get it mailed to one of your cousins in Mexico and be like, mail that to me. I'm so mad because I almost bought this series on site when I watched it the first time back in 2014, and I didn't.
Question.
Answer.
Could it potentially be on sale at Dragon Con?
I mean, maybe if someone already had the DVD for sale, but because its license is expired, that means that its value just went up.
It's gonna be really expensive.
It can also probably be found on eBay.
Fuck you, eBay.
All right, Myra, have you got any fun facts for us?
Also, side note, before we jump into that, if you do try and buy it online, make sure that it's adapted for North American.
Video players, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's what happened with my fucking UK TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you bitches!
One of my friends bought the Osamatsu-san DVD and manga for me when their cousin was in Japan, and I can't watch it.
Oh.
Sad.
Okay.
Very sad. I'm just... no, I honestly, like, the only, like, interesting were little things that I saw in the background of it. Like, one of the major scenes were, like, more in the end where the background stuff really happened, especially when they fall into that tube of dead bodies. The detail that they put into the decomposition of those bodies was amazing.
A1.
Yeah, because you've had some bodies that were
oh
like...
my god, we don't have our cards.
It's okay, I'm using this one.
You had like one body that was straight up blown up to the point that the gases were about to explode. You had another body that looked almost fresh, and then you had that one body that he literally touched and you heard the ooze.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting how they actually paid attention to that. Yes.
So, the studio that does the animation is one of the up-and-coming best studios that we have right now. And I'm so proud of them, because this is old for them. They also did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh.
All of My Hero Academia to date.
Ooh.
I can see it.
Those are their most popular ones right now. But it shows that they have been they also oh my god, they've done a lot of animes that are very popular, and it shows in their attention to detail. All of the shows that they've worked on have had similar levels
Of attention to detail.
I'm so proud of them, because you're right, they were gross ass bodies.
Did you notice the knitting needle?
Yes! Fucking knitting needle. That was really good too.
I like that detail.
I like the fact that they kept little things like that, and the details that they put in the flowers at the fucking old people home.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you did a zoom in, even the flowers that were behind the flowers, you could see the details in the petals.
Yeah. The entire structure of this anime, all the details and everything else, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, and the detail in the bakery.
Oh yeah, all the little details.
So much went wrong.
I'm just trying to keep a straight face.
Don't even bother, dude.
But yeah, I thought it was great how, I mean, there's not really any, like, Easter eggs, I would say. But, I mean, obviously the fact that his name is a mouse and then he reintroduces himself as a mouse. And then the dog keeper, loner, or whatever.
Dog Loan.
Inagashi.
Her name is Dog Loan.
But the
Their
first...
name.
Their name.
Their name, because they never specify if their gender.
In the manga, they say he. In the manga, they say he. In the anime, they say she. And whenever they refer to themselves, they don't really use either.
Yeah. No, but the reason I say keeper is because when they first introduce her, at least in the version that I saw, the translation kept saying keeper.
In the version that Jay
Until-
and I watch,
it-
it explicitly is like Dog Loan, Dog Loan,
Yeah.
Dog
This
No,
Loan.
is this is an issue with watching stuff from different sources. That's not the main source. It just happens. You're
Yeah,
gonna
in
see
the
different
last
translations.
one that I saw, like the last 3 episodes, it says dog loan. I'm like, who the fuck is dog loan? And I'm like, oh yeah,
But yeah, the way they explain it, at least in our version, was
that she loans the dogs to sleep with when in her hotel.
Yeah.
For warmth. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
and they tried to make her sus in the anime. Like her entire. I'm sorry. That's a whole ass conversation that we can have later. Continue, please.
Probably, in the discussion portion.
yeah.
I have feelings.
So yeah, I guess the little details like that. I just like how they put attention to detail in the background.
Yes, very good.
Your turn.
Um,
You get to talk about the source material.
actually, before we do that, I would like to add on to the
Tidbits?
tidbits.
Mhm.
So, when what's her name, Safu? When Safu is studying abroad in the anime, she's at an art exhibit, and and the lady's talking about, I think it's the crest from Scotland that has the
England.
unicorn.
England.
England doesn't have the unicorn.
I'm pretty sure it said England. In the anime.
Whatever. Whichever European one that has the unicorn, she's describing it, and I typed this out. I paused it, rewatched it, and typed out the translation because it made me laugh. Because they're talking about what all the symbols of the crest mean, and then they start talking about the unicorn, and she goes, they chose the unicorn because they were known as dangerous animals. Like she thought that the unicorn existed, kind of vibe. And it was pretty cool. I really like when they kind of mess with the dystopian stuff of like,
Yeah.
you weren't there, you really don't know.
Yeah.
And that's a good testament to it. Give me 2 seconds.
You're good.
If you pay attention to the way that No 6's society is set up, and even in comparison to No 5, I'm saying no again, I'm sorry.
Number.
If you pay attention to Number 6's society and how it's set up, especially in comparison to Number 5, which technically could be considered not canon, but we're not going to get into it. You notice that even though everyone's speaking Japanese, as they do in animes, the
characters.
No. The system is very blended.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely have some communist vibes. The way that Shion's family is immediately moved when they break some kind of social rule.
Mm-hmm.
That is very communist, very trickle down not trickle down. It's very
Authoritarian.
Yeah, there we go. The state decides for you.
Yeah,
and your
authoritarian.
decisions, matter with that. However, on top of that, they also have a mandatory Pledge of Allegiance, kind of like we do here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found it really interesting that they kind of made an effort to blend all of these kind of ideas. Let's see if I had any other ones. The media system, the way that the journalists interact with the people and the government is not standard to how Japan's is today. It's a weird blend of how, not really weird, I guess it's, if you were to go by the Associated Press's like free market scale, they would drop so low, like
Yes.
near the bottom. And Japan is around where we are, like 48th, 49th kind of number. I don't remember the exact ranking for this year, but they're pretty high up.
Mm-hmm.
not this way. So it's really interesting how they kind of took
Real life.
Japan as a base and then blended it. Even when you see Shion's bedroom, and to that point, Nezumi's bedroom, they don't have futons. They have
Beds.
Western beds.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. I found that really interesting that they kind of did an honest to God effort to blend everything.
Yeah, honestly, the structure of the dystopian universe that is established is a really good one. It's very similar to, well, I won't say very similar, but has a reminiscent vibe of The Giver. And I don't know if you guys have ever read that book, but the movie's kind of terrible.
They've got a lot in common, I hear.
Yeah. But basically, the government provides the housing and tells you what your job's going to be. And they don't have so much of an elite upper class or anything like that. But how they deal with death and everything else. And, like... What? Why are you laughing at me?
I saw something cute.
Oh, okay. And how it's very much like, oh, we kind of just killed your grandma kind of energy. Because that's she didn't just die. She was fine. They killed her.
Oh, you knew they killed her, though.
But, you know, they just kill old people because they don't want to take care of them anymore. And then don't really take care of the bodies. Sir, ma'am, why are you all the way on my side of the table?
We're talking to the dog. I was like, they're upstairs.
She is... Anyway.
I am not on your side of the table. I am on my side of the couch.
That's fair. She's on her side.
Anyway.
I love
It did a very good job of setting up this is a not safe society. And I like little details like that.
It's true. It's so fun to watch people watch from there. Yeah, they're so dumb.
Yeah, they are.
Alright, so jumping real quick into the source material. While I was not able to read the light novels, mostly because I have the reading equivalent in Japanese to that of a very lexically challenged toddler, and also the translations are shit. I did read the manga, so I do have that. I know that a lot of people, myself included, sometimes kind of hold the manga on a pedestal for a lot of series, but I think with this one, it really does kind of show why you at least need to have the person who wrote it on staff. Like, they had a really good studio, they had a really good base story, and they screwed it up. The entire, like, if you've seen this anime, and you're sitting there being like, it was cute, it was nice, but I still have questions, go read the manga. The entire ending is completely different. They took, yes. The entire ending is completely different. They took all of the plot points that happened in, granted, sometimes it was still a little choppy, but they took all of the plot points that, like, logically made sense for where they were ending up, and just put them wherever they felt it worked instead of where the original author put. So the pacing was off. In the beginning of the manga, Nezumi is like, you saved me and that means something to me. And he has this whole, like, you know, like, inside head talk that's kind of also vocalized. In the anime, that happens at the end of the fucking series. And the pacing is screwed up by it. They also made narrative choices to make Nezumi, or character choices, I mean, to make Nezumi more aloof and angry. And not to say that he's not, but they definitely made him much more abrasive than they needed to. There's a scene in the anime where he actively insults Inukashi's mom, and he says some hurtful shit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's fucking rude.
It's rude. And they fight over it, which is fair. In the manga, that never happens. It's like, why did you even bother doing that?
Yeah.
They had a logical reason to have that fight. It was already set up. All you need to do was do it. They added stuff to Safu's plotline, which I would be fine with if they didn't also try and give her the power over Areolias that Nezumi has, because it makes sense for Nezumi to have it because of his backstory that they don't even really touch on in the anime. It makes no sense for Safu to have it. Safu just has it to be like, look at me and my connection to the main character.
I thought she was gonna be like a secret forest child or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, because you never actually meet her parents, you meet her grandmother.
Yeah, so like, I thought she was gonna be this like smuggled in child of the forest who, you know, somehow escaped whatever.
See, I thought with how similar they were, Safu and I can only hold so many names. With how similar Safu and Shion were, I thought they were gonna end up being like twins separated at birth, because they're also equally smart.
Yeah.
They have equal character designs. They get along like siblings. Also, it's not above Japan to pull a "but I'm your sister" card after someone proposes sex. We talked about sword art. They do it.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, we didn't know. That's the whole thing. Like, but we didn't know.
So it's a Star Wars.
Yeah, literally, they like pulling a Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars was based on a bunch of Japanese content, so it makes sense.
Makes sense.
It all comes back to Japan. But anyway, I thought that was what was gonna happen. So I was thinking maybe their like twin link that would come up at some point would be like, oh well, my twin was infected by it, so now I have this like echoey like power from it.
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was a blood thing. Either way, in the manga she doesn't have that at all, and I feel like this could just be me, but I feel like taking something that was supposed to be based on a native having power over a land and then being like, but also this random bitch has it too, really takes away from the story, and is probably why they refused to go into the background of what happened to Nezumi as a whole.
Probably.
I mean, they go into it, but not really into it.
They say in the anime that all he remembers is his forest burning down. They don't mention that he was saved by a old woman from his tribe, and they went in to try and take down No 6 armed with just a knife, and that's how he ended up captured by them.
Now I get the knife thing too.
They do technically go over it a little bit, but they don't go. They go full depth in the manga. Like you see his family burning down.
No, I mean, I've seen how they fuck up the.
I know. I'm telling them.
Yes.
Oh, that's fair.
The audience.
I forgot.
Bruh.
It's fine. Anyway, I'm not gonna harp on it for too long. My main complaint currently with the source material versus the actual adaptation, they changed the ending entirely. And by change the ending entirely, I don't mean they like separated instead of, having this heartfelt goodbye. No, I mean they actually changed the entire ending as a whole. Like, at the very end of the series, somehow the two main characters, their wounds are just magically healed, and they're just like, bet, we're just gonna go live our fucking lives now and go our separate ways. In the manga, there's no magic. There's no cure-all button. No, they break back into No 6, find a bomb-ass doctor, fix the one who got shot, because they both didn't get shot. Only one of them got shot. Only Nezumi got shot. Fucking, Shion was fine for the most part. They find this bitch-ass doctor, who's like, hey, I'm actually a good person and I will help you, who fixes Nezumi without question. Doglone and the journalist guy come with them, because they're just boss-ass friends.
Rakika?
And then, yeah, I'm sorry, I can never remember his name.
Rakika?
He doesn't even get I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Okay. And then, after he's Gucci and patched up, they go take out the main bad guys of the series that the anime just decided didn't need to exist anymore, talk to Aurelius, get her to calm her B-tits, and then then they have a heartfelt reunion with Shion's mom, who gets to meet the bitch who saved her son and see her son again. Like, that is so much to just cut out. We don't even get to see Shion and his mom. They just allude to it happening. It is so
And
frustrating.
they also allude to the fact that Shion takes care of Shion.
Yeah, the baby.
Yeah.
They named the baby Shion for funny reasons. Also, at the very end of the anime, he breaks the fucking USB that has all of the information on Aurelius, which the more I say, I can't say. It just walks away from it. In the manga, he actually reads it, studies up on it, and learns how fucked up it was, what they did to capture it, and learns more about it, and that's how they figure out how to
Fix everything.
I am not normally someone who like harps on read the manga instead, but this series did such a disservice to its viewers in leaving out so much information. You're literally left at correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who did not get to read the manga in full. You are left at the end of the series with so many questions the anime actively answers.
I like I said at the beginning.
Manga, sorry.
I said at the beginning, episode 3, I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4, I have questions. Plus more questions that I had originally.
Right.
Episode 11, 3 questions are answered. I have 10 more.
So
I need answers.
Yeah, literally, and I've never encountered an anime, and granted, I do have the most limited experience here, but every other anime that I have watched has a tonality of pacing where you can clearly see where the last chapter left off. Like with Full Metal, you have that pacing and it makes sense. You're like, okay, I see why we're at this scene, even if you're not with, the brothers. With My Hero, it's very, like, it's literally almost the exact frame for frame.
They did a good job.
No,
But with this show, it's so choppy. It's so choppy. Because, especially with the first 3 or 4 episodes, you're like, who are these people? I'm having a hard time following. And, like, names in this anime are so weird. Because, like, no, listen, he's literally called Rat. They don't even call him Netsume.
No, they call him Nezumi in the
Nezumi.
anime. His name is Nezumi. It's written with the kanji for rat.
So his name is Rat.
Okay,
Okay,
again,
but, like, why not just say...
Again, when we the version that we watched was not the official translation.
Okay, so it might be
It was
Nezumi.
also, yeah, they probably typed rat because that's what Nezumi means. Just like they typed out dog loan instead of Inukashi.
Okay.
It's a bad choice, but this is a translation from when the anime originally came out that was probably up on a Kiss anime.
Okay. Fine. But I object to it. I see.
No, I'm just saying it's a little worse. Too much sugar in my system does shit to me.
I see this. We forget every time. I've never seen it to this level.
I had cake
And, you
and
ate
3
it too.
brownies at work and a Coke. Lint's over. I can have sugar.
Oof.
Oh shit, that's why.
Anyway.
Now I don't know how much sugar this shit has, but I feel like it has a lot.
I'm messing with this. What is it?
My
Her headphones.
I thought it was cancer.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know. The pacing and, like, the
I was
weird...
not opening it correctly. Sorry.
The names,
The pacing, definitely.
Yeah.
it made it not only hard to follow, but a bad storyline to follow.
Yes. I agree with you on the fact that this is... I wouldn't say this is one of my first animes encountering something like this. I've seen other older animes where this has happened. Which was one of them? I'm trying to think of...
The original Full Metal was bad.
Yes.
But they actively asked the creator if they could...
The original Fruits Basket.
Also bad.
The original Fruits Basket did the same thing. But with the original Fruits Basket, at least with them, they had sort of an excuse because they were trying to follow the manga, and they cut out a lot of things that were majorly important.
Yeah, that's what Full Metal ended up doing too. They killed off someone that was like super fucking important
Yeah.
as a filler.
No, they did that too, and well, they didn't kill them off, but they almost made
Wrote
you.
him out.
Yeah.
In Fruits Basket, it was more of they made you feel like what needed to happen already happened, but that doesn't happen until like book 23.
Oh.
And they were on book 9.
Well,
when the anime came out. So, like, with Fruits Basket and things like that, like the old ones, even the old Sailor Moon.
so like 90s era anime?
Yes, it really felt like 90s era anime where because anime was coming out, but even some of the 90 ones had a little better pacing. Because I gotta admit, the pacing in this one was a lot worse than those. The pacing felt like they were trying to cram a lot of things down your throat and didn't know how to do it. And I think taking it out of order from where the manga was the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
the ending.
Hold on. I would like to add on real quick.
Yes.
Sorry, I was holding this up. It's not just the 90s. This has been a trope in anime up until like the late 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, I want to think it's a lot
yeah.
because Fruits Basket came out in the 2000s. It
Yeah.
came out late 2000s.
Naruto almost fell for this.
So did Dragon Ball Z fell for it.
Oh, I was about to
hard.
be like, are we talking about Dragon Ball? Because that's like 9 episodes of screaming.
I know. But
No, Dragon Ball Z is 9 episodes of screaming. Dragon Ball is a little bit better pacing.
Okay.
But Naruto almost fell for this, and this might not have been the first time, but I think it was one of the first mainstream times where the animators and studio made the active decision to try and fill a gap to allow the manga to proceed without getting too close to it, so that they didn't have to run it over or make up constant filler. And by that I mean a filler arc, because they did have about 350 episodes of filler that they just put out for that entire time to basically be like, hey guys, we didn't forget about the anime, it's not dead, please still buy our shit, we just need a minute to marinate. I think that and the success of Shippuden following.
That's the one I was thinking of. The Gundam. Gundam
okay.
fucking did that shit too.
I think the active decision to make that much filler and avoid the trope of let's just let the animation studio get writers and do it themselves was one of the first times that we saw a major success in anime where they didn't do that and allowed Kishimoto to just do what he fucking did. And that, maybe not that one specifically, but that behavior, I think, is one of the reasons we started to see more animes following the manga.
Yeah, and I think that's also why you had a lot of studios go, oh fuck, we fucked up with these old ones. Because they went back and they redid Dragon Ball Z, where you have Dragon Ball Z Kai, and they cut out all the fucking filler. Like, the 30 episodes of Goku going down fucking Snake Road is 3.
That's
I was like,
an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why it's 3, because Snake Row is supposed to be like thousands and it's like supposed to be around the world, but whatever.
Listen. I'm not objecting to long journeys down a road. I'm objecting to 50 episodes of
No, and I agree. I agree.
You know what else did it? Fucking Ouran High School.
Yes, they did.
The manga is so different.
Yes, it is.
I've only ever seen the anime.
I've
No, you're
actually read the manga. I've read up to
I tried. I
book.
couldn't get past the twins' hair. I know it changes eventually, but I was like, that's not my voice.
Yeah, the
They have
twins.
bowl cuts.
Yes, they do. It's fucking awful.
Anyway,
Okay,
where were we?
moving away from how poor of an adaptation this was, because I think we've kind of made our point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has definitely been a change in the anime culture in how the producers make animes, and we typically stick to mangas now.
Can I have a request for the producers of anime out there in this world?
Sure.
This is out to the universe and to our fans who can maybe one day make this happen if we get big enough.
I hope.
Can we please get this show redone and animated?
God.
Please!
Oh, like actually get them a full 20 episode arc.
Like, I'm willing, because honestly, the way they finished it, you can definitely do one season of this and be completed.
Let me see if I can.
Can we get
But-
the cuddles going?
Oh God, yes.
I'm sorry. No. So Jay saved some choice screenshots for us of like major plot point differences from anime to manga.
I thought I had 12. I had over 30.
The amount of physical
There's that
contact
There you go.
between Rat and Chiron and
Shion?
I'm sorry.
Shira? Did she say
Chiron, warrior prince.
No.
Matsumi? Max? Is it Matsu?
What are you
Natsumi?
talking about?
Rat boy? Matsumi?
Nezumi.
Nesumi.
and Shion.
Shion. It's like Sean, except it's
Shion.
Shion.
No, my brain is just gonna struggle with that.
Yeah, literally, that's how that's, when I saw
I'm
it
sorry,
written
I've never
down.
heard it said like that. That's amazing.
What?
It's like Sean, but not. It's Sean.
No, because you know how
I
you
know.
S-E-A-N?
You're
It's
not
S-I-O-N.
You're not wrong. It's just amazing. It's like when this fucking kid in my 1001 class went, oh, so you say this word O-H-A-Y-O like the state, Ohio. And I went, you're not wrong, but I'm mad about it. That boy had no accent. He sounded like a southerner trying to be seasoned, and it just wasn't working.
So we got Natsume and Shion. And they're all over each other. They're, like, the amount of physical contact between the two of them. The kisses.
Why did they take the kisses? I wanted the kisses. I needed the kisses.
Homophobia?
No, I mean, they didn't have any more. You saw the kisses. They just changed the context of the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, they still only had 2 kisses.
Oh, okay.
They,
I felt like I missed
what
more.
What they did, no, okay.
No.
So they didn't have kisses. What they did a lot was looming over one another on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
So Yuri and Victor.
Okay, but more. Literally, okay, the scene where they have that big fight after they both lie to each other. They literally Nezumi gut punches Shion and goes, "You don't understand, you hurt me." And then they get up and they're like, "Okay, fine." And then fucking Shion goes, "Well, Pat," and then does it again to him. You don't understand, you hurt me too. And they're just both like, okay, are we back?
Yes.
We're back.
Hello, folks. We just had our first power surge.
That was very...
That was spooky.
Yeah.
Why were y'all so spooky about that? You went like on 2 different tones and let off at the same time. Was that choreographed?
No.
I think
Okay.
I just vibe with who, like, my brain's just like, sync.
Oh, I see. Your vaccine gave you Bluetooth.
Or yeah, you're fully vaccinated.
Then how was I doing it before, though?
It was the test run.
Oh, okay.
It was all those flu vaccines you had before this.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There we go.
Anyway, back to where we were. Aside from the shitty adaptation, since we are an hour in,
Character-wise, I liked Shion.
Mhm.
I liked Dog Loner.
Dog
Dog. Fuck you guys! My brain's shutting down.
Inukashi.
Inukashi. That's so much easier than fucking Dog Loan.
It is.
Inukashi. I really liked them. I liked some aspects of Nesumi's personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like Rikiga.
Let me look up him too.
Rikiga.
I don't not trust you. I'm gonna Google that though to make sure that it pops up.
I think, for me, I didn't have so much of a problem
You are
with
correct.
it because
Not really, but it was close enough.
it felt like an appropriate stereotype to have.
What?
What's his name's?
The journalist?
No, you were talking about Nezumi's personality, right?
Yeah.
For me, it felt appropriate with the coloration and the coding that they gave him as a character. You know, he's the dark, gruff character who always wears a jacket, and those kind of characters with that kind of character design tend to be more reserved and a little more abrasive. And I mean, it's.
I still liked him. I'm not saying I didn't like him. I just felt, now knowing how his personality is supposed to be, I would have preferred his original personality.
Yes.
Yeah, in the manga, they are both much more balanced as far as character goes.
Mm-hmm.
The anime makes it a point to make sure that they are clear that they're on two separate sides of an issue. But the manga, that's like a stop getting so close to me kind of vibe, and as those walls fall down, they stop talking about it, and you get this much more balanced feeling from them. I agree that it's a trope. I'm upset that they did it.
Yes.
So, as I was watching it, because like we said, I didn't read the manga.
I know, I'm sorry, I keep bringing it up.
No, you're good.
I'm angry.
So, if you are blissfully ignorant of what you could have had, it's not bad. You're like, okay, we have your dark coded character, you have your light coded character, and the tropes they fall into, while unoriginal, are almost expected.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you're right. I'm not happy about it, but that's the part I'm not happy about.
Yeah.
And so as I was watching it, I was like, yeah, okay, like that, how they're behaving makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was predictable. I'm not saying it was a good choice, but
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, I really like Inukashi. I really like their personality because
Yes.
it was a personality that you would expect from someone that was raised by dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're about to ruin my little bubble of a life.
No, I have. Do
Yep.
you mind if I hijack this? Because I have two things about Inukashi.
Okay.
One, they were not just raised by dogs. When they initially got to the hotel, there was also a dude who used to run the hotel before them who helped raise them.
That makes more sense.
Two, that's why they can speak, because there have been humans that were raised by animals before. I'm not saying it's impossible.
No.
There have been children raised by animals. They just, if their language part of their brain is not developed by speaking up to, I think, age like 6 or something, they physically can't learn language like the rest of us can.
Yeah, they communicate by grunts and sign language, right?
Not really sign language. They communicate like animals. So whatever language system the animal that they're raised by uses, they adapt. That's the cool and sad thing about humans. We are extremely adaptable to a fault. Anyway, that's part one. Part two. It's a good thing that dude was there, because I googled this, and I swear to God that the CIA agent that is in control of my phone probably just quit his job. I googled whether or not a human baby could be sustained by dog milk. And I learned so much about dog milk that I didn't want to know. Also, the answer is no.
Okay.
It doesn't have the nutritional qualities because dogs are canines. And on top of it having a lot of gross stuff you can't strain out because carnivore's milk is extremely fatty and can't go through a filter, you could get sick from the stuff that's in there. One of the words that came up was scabs. So, not only is it just not safe to drink straight from the boob, okay, or the teat, whatever you call it, I don't know how dog biology works, not only can you not just slurp that shit as a baby and be cool after the first 10 minutes, you also can't survive on it because it's not nutritionally viable for a child. You can live off of it, if you absolutely had to, for about 3 to 4 days.
So, be raised by apes.
I don't know if apes are better. I didn't Google that. They're
don't.
closer in genetics, but that doesn't necessarily mean...
I mean, I know. It's
Also,
probably not correct. I'm just
the
trying to...
description they gave of what canine milk would taste like was revolting.
Please.
It's
don't
high
wanna
in
know.
fat and oils. I can't handle this information, and I need to share it with someone so I'm not suffering alone. That
All I
sounds...
see is now cheese.
Yeah, it sounds like cheese!
Or like,
It sounds like gross cheese.
Sounds like
Also, I
cottage
found out that
cheese.
some human people that are alive on this earth that I am currently judging with every fiber of my seeing eyes, okay? Some people actively seek out to feed their human babies dog milk on purpose.
Can we call Child Protective Services?
I hope
on
they're
that?
already called. Anyway, we can get off the subject now.
anyway,
back to...
in Yukashi,
I agree. The
non-binary icon.
non-binary icon, I agree that their personality was on point for what you would expect from a
Yeah.
scrappy bitch.
Yeah, from someone who was not raised in everyday common society.
Oh god, yeah.
Definitely the protection that she has towards her dog, or they have towards their dogs.
Their family.
Their family is great. And you see a lot of that emotional, especially when they're burying what she calls her uncle.
Mhm.
And that was obviously you get an emotional scene, and then you get the asshole who's like, your mom's a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna talk about this because this is one of the scenes that you shared from the manga. That didn't happen in the manga, and it bothers me because of the scene that is there. And basically, Inukashi is like, listen, Netsumi, you're gonna die if you keep taking on responsibility and looking after someone that's not yourself. Do you realize that? Are you prepared to do that? Like, that's the whole reason the fight happens, not you insulted my mother out of
No.
pocket.
But
Meh.
I'm not talking about that scene. I'm talking about the scene when she's burying her uncle, the dog.
What Sam is saying is when he insults her mom, that doesn't happen, and it impacts the fight scene that happens right after it.
Yeah. But I thought we were over the manga, that's why.
They went into it, not me.
I was trying to direct it back to the anime.
It's just
Unfortunately, I think this is one of those things where you once you see it, you can't look away from it.
That's fair.
it impacted the characterization, and like, I don't know, the fight that happens in the anime made it feel like you were supposed to try and like develop this mistrust of Inukashi. Like,
It's not. I guess it's distrust, yes, but I think as the scene goes on, you also because that's like episode 4. The next couple of episodes happen, and then you're like in episode 7, which is where the dog is, and you feel like they're trying to rebuild that trust. Which, I mean, I think is bullshit. You shouldn't have lost the trust to begin with. I agree. But if I'm going from the perspective of I've never seen the manga.
sure.
I don't.
That's fair. I will also try and shut up because that is very fair.
Also,
Because at this point, we're not judging the manga, we're
Right.
judging the anime.
I guess even watching it blissfully ignorant of the manga, them trying to get me to mistrust Inukashi was so out of left
pocket.
field.
Yeah,
Because she likes animals more than she likes people. And for me, if somebody likes animals more than like people, I trust them. I don't know why, but for me that's like, oh, you're a good judge of character.
Reindeers are better than
People.
Yeah.
Listen. And not only that, she looks after the dogs. She deeply cares for those dogs, and she takes care of them. She takes good care of them.
In
And
the manga, they can actually talk to the dogs. Like they can speak dog.
Which
That's cool.
I
Which makes
wish,
sense.
Honestly, that's one thing I wish they would have kept, because it adds to that story that they were raised by dogs. That they had that connection with the dogs. Because, yes, you have that whole thing where they fuck up. You know, again, fellow listeners, protest. We want them to remake this anime.
I wish if we could get enough people on board for this, I would freak out. Like Oran High School Host Club Season 2, Yuri on Ice Season 2.
Yes.
remake of No 6. Just do them justice, for the love of God.
Yes. So to me, like, her whole characterization was really good, especially because later on, when you go into the whole building bombing, the loyalty she has to Shino and Netsumi, you see that they are not going to leave. I can't help it. I keep trying to say they, she, I'm messing it all up. But they have this, because even the Riki, the journalist.
Rikiga?
Rikiga.
Rikiga.
Even Rikiga.
Is like, I don't want to die, so can we leave? And they're like, no, we're waiting for them. And then, of course, right after you see them come off the conveyor belt, and you're like, oh shit, they're about to die.
Right.
But the loyalty they have throughout the whole thing, that whole scene, they're in the middle of getting shot up, the building's blowing up, they're in danger, and they are still like, no.
I feel like that scene would have been more impactful had it had their motivations been allowed to be the same. Because watching it just as an anime, their motivation to stay during that whole scene doesn't really track.
I could agree, because when I was rewatching it, I rewatched it before reading the manga. I was confused as to why they were insisting on staying there as the building came down around them.
Yeah.
And then, after all of that, they finally come out, and that's when Inukashi decides to dip. They have a spat, some stuff happens, and that's the point when they decide, like, they're already down there risking their life, which we know that they have a fear of
Death. They have a fear of death.
Like, they can act.
Yes.
We already know that about them, and they are standing there braving it for two people, one of which they've known for a while, one of which they just met. They're braving it for them, and it's only when they have a minor stress conversation in a life or death scenario that they go, I'm out. That it does not track for how loyal they've established they are.
Yeah.
I don't... Their motivations throughout the anime kind of feel all over the place, and I hate it because their character is so interesting, and there was so much potential there.
Well, okay, so my theory, this is more of a theory,
Sure.
of why they were so loyal at that point in the burning down building. Because at that point, Shion started showing respect to her family. Love towards her family.
Right.
So it's not so much about Netsumi, it's about Shion. It's about, it's one of those things that, you know, you're, I mean, you both see my dogs, but you see how they will follow you till the end of the road, you know, and they will do anything for you. They will be there for you. I think at that point, when you show them that kind of respect and that kind of loyalty, because he was coming and helping her with her family of dogs, so I think that loyalty in that I guess devotion at that point that they have to not leave the building is more directed to Shion than Netsumi.
See, but that's my issue, because they're right here, okay? For those of you who don't know, I'm pointing at the table with a pen. They're right here, and they're sticking it out, okay? Shion and Nezumi get shit out by the trash thing, okay? They're right here now. They come over. They have, like, literally, if memory serves, all that happens is Nezumi's like, fuck you, I want to go stay with Shion even though he's dead, okay? Like, I want to be there, I want to sing him off, I know
I see what you mean.
That's the point where she goes, you know what? Fuck you, and leaves. Because in my mind, they were so dedicated to stand there and wait for them.
In a burning building.
Because you're right, they had that dedication. Even if it wasn't just for Shion, that has definitely shown them respect, kindness, and comfort that I don't think they've ever really received.
Probably
Like,
not.
even though I don't think at that point they would allow him to burn in that building on that basis.
I agree. I think they would have taken his body.
Yeah, which would have stopped the entire interaction, because then Nezumi would have had no reason to stay.
Right. Like,
Yep.
it
Because Nesami would have been like, if we're taking his body, we'll all go together.
Yeah.
And
and here,
It was
here's
just
my
weird.
Yeah, because like I
'Cause
feel
did-
like even if they were going to leave,
Hold on, what? Sorry.
no, go ahead. I'll let you finish, and then I'll say my thought.
even
Okay.
if they were gonna leave Sharon's body,
Shion?
Shion,
Warrior princess.
Shion's body, and Nezumi was gonna like try and stay, I feel like she would have just manhandled him because he was weak enough at that point. She would have
Yeah.
just been like, over the shoulder, we're getting out of here, bitch. Come on, let's go.
If
Even-
anything, it would have been funny for them to just like summon a dog to
Drag him.
through the mud.
Yeah. No, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, might have read the translation wrong, but, I think it's Rikiga who, says we should take him to give him a proper burial.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
is.
yet they still dipped out. So I was like, why didn't they take him? Like, it wasn't...
Well, because if they did, then they would have to follow the manga. But they didn't want to do that.
No, they had to have that whole spiritual moment. Sorry.
They had to have the wizard show up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not a real wizard.
So
It's the royal wizard.
yeah, the royal wizard. For those who are maybe unaware,
It's not a
Um,
wizard,
I
it's
already
a
said it.
fucking wasp.
oh,
In
but
the summary.
oh
Yeah.
But did you? I was gonna explain what a wizard did it means.
Oh, sure, if you want.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you think it's superfluous.
It means that it was fixed by a magical power that had nothing to do with and was not introduced.
Yeah. Unfounded.
Unfounded magic.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think... I mean, I agree with you that it was the animators or the new creators
we don't have to talk about it. I know.
wanting to fix... But,
Actually.
and like,
yeah, I agree with you. I feel like... Because, I mean, you've seen stories of dogs going to their owners' graves and
Yeah.
being with them. So,
I mean, wasn't there the dog in Japan who like their owner died and they would meet their owner at the train station every day after work,
and he would go and wait for him
and he
every
would
day.
go and wait for him, and everyone was like, this beautiful dog. What did we ever do to deserve dogs?
I know why.
What?
Oh my god, we're idiots. I know why.
Why?
The manga ran through December 2013. Never mind. They have no... No, I'm right. No, the manga ran through December 2013. The anime was what started and ended in 2011. They didn't have an ending. They didn't know. They had to make something up on their own. And that's why you need to fucking not do that, because you make bad shit. You make bad calls.
Because like,
Why couldn't
For-
you wait till the whole thing came out?
for me, we have Shion so focused on like finding a cure, finding out the truth, finding out the reality of the
And
situation.
he never really finds out the truth, though.
He's given the truth on a little flash drive.
But you
And he
never
crushes
find
it.
it out!
He crushes it.
Oh my god, okay, on my rewatch when that happened, I was like, hey, he's gonna look at that now, he's gonna find, what the fuck did you just do, you absolute idiot? No, go back to being dead, I'm out. Go back to being dead, we're done here.
He's given all the information he could have ever wanted, you know,
And then some.
and then some.
Because, like, here's the thing. Everilias is the god of that fucking land, okay? If you piss her off again, she's coming back. And you aren't going to have sympathy that time. So, it's just so dumb to break it. That's all the information you can ever need to stop her again.
She literally just brought you back to life.
Not just all the information you need to stop her, because technically, even though she saves your life, the government still exists.
Yeah, because they didn't deal with that in the anime. The government's still there. Thank you, Myra.
there are so many loose ends at the end of the
Forgot
anime.
about that.
They don't address the government, because the government's still running around. They just massacre a whole bunch of people with the wasps or the bees or whatever. Everybody's dying on Holy Day.
And everyone, not just the higher ups, they just kill everyone. Point blank. They just kill everyone.
Yeah, it's not like it's making some kind of poignant commentary about killing the bourgeoisie and eating the rich. No. Everyone who partakes in this society dies, except for the people who are in, what is their ruin called?
The West District.
West District?
I think so. May I pivot?
Sure.
I have a short amount of notes I would like to...
Oh, what did you...
It's very small, and it's very stream of consciousness, but... oh my god, we didn't do themes.
I mean, obviously there's the dystopian theme.
If you want, I have... These all are kind of themes.
Sure, go ahead. I was watching it, like, falling asleep in my bed.
I got you. Corona or pandemic vibes. And I put that in all caps with many eyes. Matrix vibes.
Yes.
Okay.
I talked about that already. The criticism of today's society putting academia above all other viable career choices.
I did like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not clicking immediately, everyone in No 6 seems to have a job that is very career focused. It like you take a test at a young age to determine what you're going to do for the rest of your life, kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, you have performers. You have we see a lot of that just in Nezumi himself. He's an
actor.
He's an actor. He reads. He performs. He loves poetry.
He's very much a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all of those things, you like when Shion gets there, he goes, "Who the fuck is?" Oh no,
Shakespeare?
yeah. He goes, "Who the fuck is Shakespeare?" And how do you go up to the age of 16 not learning who Shakespeare is? Like that to us who grew up in modern society, that's boggling. But in a society where you literally, all right, you're gonna be a botanist, and you literally from a child,
yeah,
like learn how to be a botanist, and you don't learn anything else because that's not gonna be your career. It makes sense.
Yeah, they actually that's one point I want to highlight from the anime, if I may. Outside of number 6, they show that different cities run themselves
Differently.
very differently, because what's her name? Safu literally goes on her study abroad to study art. She goes and she's like, oh, like, this is what sex is for. It's for reproductive, and mating purposes. And literally everyone else I think she goes to City 5 or whatever, number 5. Mm-hmm. They're like,
no,
it's for fun. And, like, because you like someone and you want to, like... And their entire mentality is different. And they did such a good job with this in solidifying that perhaps number 6 is very, very wrong. And it's not all of the cities. It's just number 6. And exemplifying that in the study abroad was a little bit of world building that I appreciated.
Yes. Well, with that, with the city, that particular thing,
Mm-hmm.
I did like that they made an effort to actually draw a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
It very much had a vibe of like Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did. But they took the time to actually try and draw a different culture, because sometimes when you have the animes where someone travels to a different country, they look
Japan light.
They do.
Okay, there's an anime, I don't remember the name, but the main character's name is Joey Jones, and he lives in Central City, USA, and it's literally just Japan with palm trees. But by Japan with palm trees, I mean every 6 to 8 feet there's another palm tree.
Yeah, it's Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like the fact that but I think I enjoy the fact that when they did that, you do see that Safu is sort of being culture shock, because she has this moment where she's looking out into the ocean, and it's sort of a parallel to when her and Shion did it, but they were looking out into the city, and you see the wall, but there you see
It's open.
It's open into the ocean, and that's how you're introduced to her new culture, which I thought that was really cool that they did that parallel there. And then you go into her actual study and you see that they're opening her windows and mind to other things, and when she comes back to number 6, the first thing that the customs agent tells her, "Oh, you like Picasso?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's, it's a great artist." And he goes, "Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave all your Picasso things here." And then you see her with an older woman who goes, you're not an outsider." And she's like, "No, I was raised here, I went abroad." She goes, "Yeah, most outsiders have an issue with the tracking device."
You good?
Yeah.
Something that I would like to build off of with that is a lot of North Korean defectors kind of have that same process into getting to that point, especially when they're higher up in society and are allowed to leave the country. They get out of there and they're like, "Whoa,
Whack!
where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" Or they hear stories of the outside and they're like, what do you mean I can just get a burger? What do you mean? Like, the breaking of the veil is something that I really appreciate that they tried to do, especially when they did it, because this was like 2011. They did it really well too, because you're right. She walked outside of the city and went,
And I think it helped her character to develop.
It did.
Because when her grandmother dies, I think it pushed her motivation a little bit different than the manga. And then on this version, because in the manga she never left, and then goes, "Well, where's my friend?" And I think the reason that her defect of the culture makes more sense, because she's seen what the outside world is like. She's seen that it's not the same.
Yeah.
And then you see her coming back, and she grabs her grandmother's scarf and goes, "This does not smell like my grandmother."
That's something I actually am not a huge fan of. They essentially got rid of the grandma entirely in the manga. And by got rid of, I don't mean got rid of. I mean she was never there to begin with. But in the anime, she's a pretty, base part. She's the first adult you meet when Shion and Safu go over to her house. She really does kind of pilot the story to a degree.
Yeah, she helps ground us.
Yeah, when you come back to No 6, which they do a lot in the anime, I think that's why it was weirdly paced. Actually, they go back to number 6 a lot. Anyway, when you do, a couple of times it is piloted by the grandma, and in the later scenes, actually, when they're climbing up the wall of corpses, Shion catches himself on her
knitting
needle, and that was, I don't even think Shion
realized.
Registered it, but it was so subtle. Like, we knew,
Yes.
we were so aware, and
It makes your stomach turn.
yeah,
Yes, it does.
It was-
I was like, oh, fuck.
yeah, it really did. I think that's one of the things I wasn't in the manga that kind of lacked, is because there were all the corpses, they were gross, oh my god, but there wasn't a personal aspect, and that is something that I really liked from the anime. It really took a moment, especially with the animation style and the art choices and how they drew the corpses. When you see and hear everything and then see that
You have that
knitting
chink.
needle, it's like, even if you're not super squeamish, your stomach kind of drops with oh, I knew it. I knew she was there, but I didn't think I would find out that way.
Yeah, you didn't think, because it's so interesting, because Safu makes this whole thought of where is her knitting needle, and to make a full circle and you find it in that corpse pile. And I also found it very interesting that with Safu, when she's leaving No 6, the windows are closed to the plane. Like, you can't see what's outside of the wall. And, I mean, I think, obviously, sometimes it's hard to animate outside a window moving like that for things like that. But I think it had more of a significance because of the fact that they're trying to hide what's really going on outside the wall.
And
it's like North Korea. When you go to the city, you're forced to only stay in Pyongyang. You have to have your guide at all times. You cannot lift the veil past that because it's something they don't want you to see. And this is more of an internal thing, but still, it has the same vibe.
And something I really liked to show how corrupt the society really is one of the hallmarks that's historians and anthropologists really go by to see how good or how empathetic a society is how they treat their dead. And having all of their dead just in a giant pile like that, no burial, no ceremony, no rituals, no respect.
Well, you had a burial. They did show a burial, but I think it was very staged.
It was staged because she was in the nursing home.
And it wasn't even really a burial. It was really okay.
It was a wake.
Here's an interesting point that I've just realized. So Shion definitely found her body. You know what we didn't see?
Her head.
You know what Safu saw?
Her head.
And nothing else. And nothing fucking else. She also made it a point, upon touching her, to note that she's already so cold. Hi. I noticed things.
Mine just fucking blown.
No, mine off. From the neck up. Not blown.
I'm having a moment, I'm sorry.
That raises an interesting question. So I'm sorry, I'm on a rant now. So, it's established that the nursing home is essentially a slaughterhouse, probably to feed the brain needs from the manga, but they never go into it, so we'll not touch it. What if the way that they off the people from the nursing home, because it is a conveyor belt for death, is by guillotine, so that they can do that as a standard? It automatically separates the brain. You already have a disposable area for the body.
It would be easy enough to drug them.
Oh, you don't even have to drug them. Then what can they do? Resist? In that city, humans age to a point where they are bedridden at best. That bitch dropped her knitting needle and couldn't get it off the floor from a sitting position.
Yeah.
You don't need anesthesia for that. You think they're humane?
You're right, I'm sorry.
What are human rights violations?
What are human rights?
That's one of the lines we missed out on from the manga. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Jesus and also Christ. You could harvest the brain and then still put the head back together for the family to view it.
So in the anime, it's literally just flowers and the head.
Literally, this whole back piece can come right off.
Yeah, because when they cut. Well, typically they cut through the hairline so that you don't see it.
But it's easy enough to get the hair back into place.
Exactly.
That's part of a mortician. That's so dark. We were already there, but that's at a different level.
Yeah, now that I think about it, when you see a body, you usually see the hands, and people put things in their hands.
I thought it was weird,
and I thought it was usually a whole fight about what the deceased should wear.
Yeah, so I thought it was because I was expecting to see her in the coffin holding the fucking
knitting needle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna pivot real quick because I think we stumbled into a dark area and our brains are a little stuck. I also wrote down that Shion and for that matter also Safu have neurodivergent vibes so much.
They read autistic.
Yeah, they do in the best way.
Yeah.
Hyper focus on cool stuff and an inability to communicate in a like with people who aren't. I don't remember how to word it correctly, but like the inability, like when
Nezumi?
oh my god, I'm losing my mind. When Nezumi, thank you, you said it, and I went, not the name. Think of what's the name. I was like, shush.
You shushed me.
In my head, I was like, no, I'm trying to think of a different name. Hold on, Sam.
Just trying.
No, you were correct too. That's the best part. I was too stuck. No, but Nezumi laughs at something that Shion says, and Shion dumps water on its head and is like, "Are you okay? I thought you were in hysterics."
Yeah.
And like, granted, it could be from not having a lot of friends or something, but we never see him with a lack of friends. Like,
He has peers.
yeah, he has peers.
He has peers, but I wouldn't say friends.
I'm mixing the two together now. It's all in my head. But my point is, he has peers that he is friendly with and he talks with a lot.
Yeah.
He should be familiar with some kind of like, you know,
Joking?
I'm laughing at you because that idea was dumb kind of vibe. Or like,
I can see it. That scene in particular, yes, I agree with you. Especially also with Sofu when she
it's right there.
I don't know why I called her Sofu. I know her name.
It's okay.
Safu?
I was convinced Nezumi wasn't Nezumi. I might have said
Safu.
Nezuko. Wait a minute. That's a different anime.
Safu.
Fuck.
Safu.
I'm keeping that.
So when she's saying goodbye to Shion, she is like, well, do you want to have sex? And she doesn't even say, do you want your sperm? She goes straight to, I want your sperm.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what? Hold up. Wait. Time
But,
out.
like, he doesn't even have a hold on, wait, time out moment. He goes, explain?
Yes.
It's
And
like, I believe we've had a lapse in communication. You want what now?
And then she's like, I want sex with you. And he's like, can you elaborate a little bit more? Because I'm a little confused about this conversation right now. So you can definitely, I would definitely agree with you. They have that neurodivergent vibe.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For a second there, because of the freaking opening, for a second there, I thought they were robots.
That's fair. Okay, so one other thing that I have is just a tidbit, but I need to keep it because they actually didn't have this in the manga, and I'm mad because it was so close, but the anime did it better. This is me praising them. They did it good. When the grandma's in the nursing home and she drops her thing, like we were talking about earlier, this lady comes up and picks it up for her, and the grandma's like, "Oh, thank you so much for getting that for me. I appreciate it." And she's like, "No problem. I'm happy to help." And then immediately after saying that, internally we hear her go, "I wish I could quit this job," and then she immediately dies. And it is a mood, okay? That whole scene, I wish that were me when I was in Starbucks. I wish I could just, like, hand someone their change and go, "Have a nice day," and immediately drop dead, okay? That would be the best way to go out ever!
While you're looking for that, one thing I will say is, for as much tension build up as they had in the anime, there wasn't a lot of payoff for it.
I mean, we just had the big blow up. That was it. I
We had
seriously thought they were going to take down the whole city.
I
They were going to take down the government. I was waiting for it.
I
and
thought
nothing.
Shion was gonna get kidnapped at least once. Like, yeah, he got arrested once, but like I thought once he got out of the city, he was gonna get, you know.
I didn't see
I thought-
the kidnapping happening, but I definitely saw. I honestly saw more of Shion becoming more of a protector, because he had this whole vibe of, I'm never letting you go, for Nesumi?
There you go.
I knew it.
You got there.
And so I wanted to see more of him. I would have wished they would have kept some of those scenes where you see him going, "Bitch, what you say to my boyfriend?" Vibes, like...
Yeah, because the few times they actually do allow him to go feral in the anime, it doesn't
Track.
track.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't feel like a genuine character reaction. It feels like this is a plot point.
Oh, I see. It's a mixture. We're not hearing her internal thoughts.
We're hearing her talk
We're
later
hearing
on.
her. Yeah, they're doing okay. I'm dumb. Hello. Either way, it was a funny ass scene. She went. I wish I could quit this job. Dead.
Yeah, that's why I also at that moment
Why
I
the fuck
thought
did they kill the grandma then?
they just killed her.
I think they killed her because she dropped the knitting needle and couldn't pick it up.
That's so rude.
Dude, there was so many things that were rude because you realize, because that's something that the journalist, the one that's hitting on the mom, that's really creepy, and we don't know why he's creepy.
It's because the animators are weird.
You know, at 1 second they made him really creepy with the little girl, and I was like, whoa, where are you going?
I didn't notice that. Oh my god. Why did you do this man dirty?
For like 30 seconds, he's like, yeah, this is my niece. And then you never see him with this little girl again.
Well, he had come in multiple times with her before.
Yes, but that one scene that they're actually together,
Yeah.
I was like, please stop.
I didn't even notice. I was.
Yeah. I was.
I
was
guess
too
because I've been
invested.
watching a little too much Law and Order SVU.
Doo-doo.
Okay, hold on. Let me
but-
see. Go ahead.
But, you know, that's actually how he makes that connection or talks to Shion's mom about it. He goes, there was a mysterious death, and then all of a sudden all the witnesses disappeared. That was a crowd of people that disappeared.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a huge...
Right, because she just dropped dead in the middle of the street.
Yeah, and there was like at least 20 to 30 people there in the vicinity, so they all had to be interviewed.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
I'm gonna say this is the last time I'll do this. I promise. The manga goes further into like the amount of people that they've kidnapped, and it is disgusting. It is. All right. One thing I want to go into before we jump into fandom stuff. The ending for the anime really kind of tried to leave it open for something else, and I'm really disappointed that we didn't even get like a short or something afterwards because and I'm gonna, I know I said the last time was the last time, the manga's finisher was like I'll come back kind of vibe, and they kind of did that too on accident, and I just would have liked to have, I don't even want something fancy. I just want them to come back and like have a day at his mom's bakery and just have shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you could have a nice clean close. Even
Yeah.
just like a reunion of Shion's mom and him.
Yeah.
Or something, because I mean, oddly enough, like at least the animes that I've seen, they have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like even in the closing trailer, like the final outro, there's like a little montage of like the future or whatever.
Yeah.
And
No, it's not even it's not even the future. It's just what happens after the wall falls down. People from the outside start trying to go in. People from the inside are trying to go out to see what the hell's going on. Shion's mom runs,
that's
and
it.
then Shion gets the baby. That is it.
Yeah. And
yeah, look, he crushed that fucking ship, and I dipped. I was like, I forgot about that. I'm mad at you.
I really didn't like how unfinished it felt.
Yeah, and granted, we have to give it some, some grace there because the series itself hadn't finished yet.
Yes.
For the manga to be lagging behind by 2 actual full years, there's a lot that they couldn't answer.
Sure.
And I'm willing to give them some leeway with that, on the caveat that they give us something new now that they know the answers. It's been almost a decade.
Yeah.
Where is our fix-it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it took Sailor Moon almost 20 years to get a fix-it though.
I know, but Sailor Moon was much bigger, and that worries me.
I just, for as much intensity as Nezume and Shion have in their relationship this like quick little goodbye kiss of like.
And it wasn't really a goodbye. It's like, I'll see you later.
Well, in the manga it is, but in the anime it's like, you're done with me. I'm done with you now.
Yeah, they were pushing even harder with the we're on two separate sides thing at the end of the anime.
Yeah.
They were like, you have to go to your home in No 6, and I have to go to my home in West End. Like, it's over.
See, like...
You don't need me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, no,
we're parting ways, and I'm never gonna see you again, ever.
But see, the way I felt, at least for me, and you guys know I watched it like 2 hours ago.
Sure.
So for me, watching that ending, it really felt like, okay, you gotta go do your business, I gotta go do my business, I'll meet you later tonight.
Yeah, I could see that. It just, I guess my issue is it was so hard to read.
Yes, that's what I mean.
The fact that all three of us watched it and all three kind of got a different mouthfeel for it is problematic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, if it was supposed to be a goodbye kiss, it really did not feel like it felt like I'm going to work, I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of vibes.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, we're no matter what, we all felt it different, and there's no,
And I guess especially for me because of seeing how it looked like the communities were about to just combined.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had nothing for them to be separated by anymore. Because Nezume was just being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like...
And Shion went, I expect this from you. And that was it. I want them to redo this anime and do it justice.
Yes, please.
The amount of characters they cut out for no reason, the amount of questions that are left unanswered just as a whole, the amount of backstory we flat out don't get from Nezume that was supplied to them eventually. I want them to do a fix-it. Just, come on. I know that Bones is busy with My Hero, but they'll find time.
They'll make time.
They'll make time.
I mean, eventually they'll catch up to the manga, and they're gonna have to take a break.
They're pacing it really well. I'm sorry. I think, okay, going back to the whole talk on, like, old school animes, I think the reason we had this issue initially, if you think about it, animes were coming out with new episodes once a week the same way mangas were.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
Each episode pretty much encapsulated half of, if not a whole manga book. Depending on the episode. It was not a chapter. If it was a chapter, it would be a 10 to 15 minute short. That was why they were catching up so fast. Nowadays, they're not coming out once a week. They're coming out in seasons once a week. And then they have a cool down period. And then they come back. So there's season breaks instead of filler. Some still do filler. I'm not talking I'm not.
No, you're right.
overgeneralizing.
But maybe during those season breaks of certain mangas, they.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. This is not me disagree. I agree.
That's what I mean. Like maybe during one of those
Cool offs
or
cool-ons, depending on how they do it.
Take on old projects and fix them, or even take on new stuff. I agree. There's some new stuff that out there that can very much be a great manga, or anime. You knew what I meant.
Vaguely, yes.
So
I was like, yeah. Well, wait. There's.
I mean,
Yeah.
So yes, I go for it, but I would really appreciate for them to take back that bit and go, guess what, guys? We're a little bored, so we're just gonna reboot a little bit.
Yes, you can do Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You can do No 6, the Lost City or something.
Although I would really like to
Lost
see them
Land.
reboot Gundam. Because I enjoy Gundam. I said it wrong.
I'm gonna say this once. I will watch Gundam for you and our listeners. It will not be a fun episode on my end.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, first animes I watched in my life.
I'm not hating on it.
Gundam,
Yep.
Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball.
Yep.
I thought that was all anime existed.
I mean, you're not wrong. You hit all 3 of the main categories.
and then Junior went.
But wait.
I
No,
got
no,
this just for you. Keep you.
My high school went. We have a manga section.
Bro, the manga sections in high schools. Oh my god. Oh
It
my
went-
god. Did you read Zodiac PI?
No, they didn't have it in my school. They had volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Fruits Basket, and then I went, bitch, I can get this at Barnes and Noble. Going.
Mine had 1, 2, and 3 of Naruto, and it got me hooked.
And then they had 1 through 10 of, not Death Note,
What was the vibe?
Slayer. Oh god.
Bleach?
Demon Slayer.
Bleach.
No, we're talking high school.
Yes. So
Demon Slayer came out like 3 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah. So they had the first, I want to say first 5 of Bleach.
That's fair.
Bleach, and I was like, and then when they said Bleach was coming out with the anime, I was like, oh bitch, I gotta see this. And then I was like, this shit sucks. It's nothing like the manga. What the hell have you done to my peeps?
The amount of shitty mangas I read because they were added to our school's library.
Yeah.
Tokyo Mew Mew, I lived that life for a solid, 2 months. Just because it was new. I was like, look at this cat bitch and her dumb shenanigans with her stupid outfit.
This was me realizing the world outside of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that Sailor Moon had a fucking manga, and I went, bitch, what? So back to, I
Back to
would,
business.
I would like for them to go back and redo it in one of their
Yes.
mid-season breaks of My Hero, because
I think
I think it'd be a good. It's obviously definitely gonna be a 1-season project, so you don't
Oh, yeah.
need to go in depth. Although
I don't think they would need to do too much more than 11 episodes, maybe 12.
I would say
I
like
would
at
like to
least
see
15.
a 15.
I really don't think they need that much, though. Like, if you cut out all of the stuff that the original anime invented for the show and add in the bits that it left out, you only really need 1 more episode.
Okay.
Because, like I said, the manga shoots through. I was reading it, and I was on chapter 15, and they were already going in to the camp.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, that happened fast. It was because all the extra stuff was gone. The scenes where you catch up with the mom were literally
30
so
seconds.
short. Not even 30 seconds. They were just read note, not to hand. That was it. You didn't even see her write back.
Okay.
'Cause you could shorten it to just that and the mouse running away. That's 10 seconds. With a new note. And anyway, I would love more content. But guys, if you're talking about doing this and you're worried about the money, I believe in you. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is you could economically do this and not need that much more.
Right.
Yes.
Do the 15 if you have to, please.
I mean, yeah. I honestly, I really liked some of the details about the grandma and.
I would like for them to keep some of that.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not saying write it out. I guess what I'm saying is if they wanted to do a more accurate adaptation, they could get rid of that and fly through the original manga, and still have a good story at the end.
Okay.
I agree. I would like her to stay. I'm saying that to agree with you guys. I don't like her.
You
No.
don't like the
I
grandma?
don't care about her. Okay, you know what? No, allow me to.
I like the world building she's provided.
There's so much more world building outside of her.
Yeah, no.
Fine.
I like
No.
the human connection you made
Let
with
me-
the death
Let me
bodies.
pitch this to you, though. Okay? Climbing up the dead bodies and still leaving that tidbit in without actually touching on it. It would be an Easter egg for those who have seen the original series
Yes.
without actually touching on it.
Okay.
So it would still be there, but you wouldn't have to go into it. I think that would hurt more, actually, because her grandma still dies. It's just off screen
Yeah.
Yes.
in the manga.
Oh, yes, I like it.
I really like that. Yeah, because I don't know, it adds this level of
Connection.
connection and grimness of they really don't give a shit.
Mhm.
Even to the elderly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we know people are getting kidnapped and it's an authoritarian state, that it's a dictatorship, it's a dystopia. But that knitting needle, bruh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like the knitting needle, but that's the only part I like from her. I
Yeah.
guess that's my issue. Like, aside from that,
I agree. Fandom.
all right, cool. So, unfortunately, I think this fandom suffers from age, mostly. Age and probably adaptation issues. I'm gonna be real, especially back then, people were mad as shit when that happened, when they were, like, really big fans. So, I think that probably added to the lack of fandom. Not to say there's not one, it's just...
Minimalistic?
It's minimalistic. This fandom suffered from a lot of issues. On top of the ones that I just listed, you also don't really have a standard tag that you can use. Like, if you type NO6 into any search engine, anything that uses that phrase pops up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a tag in and of itself.
No, because what was it? Crunchyroll, when I was trying to find it at first, because online it said, oh, it's on Crunchyroll. And I was like, bitch, okay. It would pull up the blue submersion No 6, and I was like, this isn't it. I know this isn't it, because there's no white-haired bitch here.
Not just that, I tried to look up the fandom on Twitter to see what they had, and I typed No 6, and I got a bunch of sports stuff.
Oh.
Because, you know, you've got number 6
Right.
as someone's number for a whole sport.
Yeah, and Googling, I had to put No 6 anime for it to actually pop up.
Aside from that, they have a little, almost 1,400 fics on AO3. This might be one of the smallest fandoms we've covered, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, but, like, all of these fics that I'm seeing on page 1 are pretty tame. There's 2 M's, 1 E, but the rest are G. Like, the fandom is probably just starving for more content. Let's see.
Anything spicy?
I'm trying to see. This one is post-apocalypse. Shiona's dead. This is a crossover with Naruto and Shaman King.
Oh.
This one is an AU where the fandom trumps hate. I don't know what that means, but here we are. Yeah, it feels like everyone's just kind of scrambling to put something out there. Yeah, the most recent fic was actually today. So there's still some people still out there making stuff. It's just, it's small. And not that that's bad. It's just, if you're new to the fandom, it kind of sucks to walk into it and go, I'm here.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, I found some art. It's mostly cute stuff or really sad stuff. Like, Shion died in canon and they went, I'ma play with that. I'ma play with that. But no, aside from that, it's a pretty tame fandom. I don't know any discourse from it off the top of my head. I didn't find any in research. It's
Tamed.
It's tame and small.
Yeah.
So would we give it a C or a B?
I would give
B.
it a B just because they can't help that not a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like if you took what they have now and multiplied it tenfold, it would be a very good fandom.
Okay.
They're discourse, blah blah blah. Gay rights.
Gay rights.
Superpowers. Anyway, no, I would give them a B. There's nothing bad. There's nothing good. The only mark I gave off is that it's small, and that's a pretty big mark.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2. So final thoughts. I liked it. I would definitely say I would prefer a remake. Knowing what I know of the manga now. If I had not seen the manga, other than it's alright anime, maybe worth a watch when you're bored and don't have anything else to watch. I wouldn't say it's like one of those that, oh my god, I'm gonna run out and watch it. But it's... I give it a B.
That's fair.
It's not like the top, but it's also not like eh. So I'd give it a B. I say watch it to at least get a feel for it. And maybe that way we can suggest people get a remake. Because I mean, I think if the more people request it, the more it's likely to get out there to be heard. So yeah, if they make a remake, I'm so watching it. I'll probably watch it again just to get the little tidbits I missed. But I liked it. It wasn't. I'd give it a yes if you're bored
That's fair.
and want to try something new.
It's honestly, the premise is very interesting. I really liked a lot of the world building, and dystopian societies can either be very, very interesting or very, very boring. This had a lot of potential. I would have liked to see a more faithful adaptation. I honestly, if I didn't know what the manga had, I would have said it's a fine anime. It's interesting. Pacing's a little weird, but like, it's a ride.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it a hard no, but it's definitely. Would I recommend it? Maybe. I'd recommend the manga, not the anime.
Yeah.
That's my so soft. No. Soft no.
Before this rewatch, I would have said yes 100%. I am one of those people where the more questions that it leaves, the more I get to think about it. So on my first watch through, I was kind of just excited to like, ooh, what if? Like, I was expecting to come into this fucking episode being like theory world, okay? Because the anime left so many loopholes while still closing up enough of them to kind of leave this air of
Mystery.
it leaves an air of mystery, but not one that is like crippling, I guess, when
Yes.
when you first watch it. But the more you think about it, and especially on the second watch through, the holes become more relevant. And I am unable to compartmentalize from the manga because I was such a huge fan of the anime. And I also just finished reading it. I have not had time to simmer. You're getting this raw. But I digress. What I know now from reading the manga, I would not recommend the anime. It leaves far too many loops. It leaves far too much out from the plot. It literally doesn't tell the same story. It breaks my heart to say that because I love the characters. I love the world that they created.
Yes.
Like Sam said, post-apocalyptic can be boring, but shows have made beautiful art out of it, like Adventure Time. Like, you can make so much out of that concept if you do it correctly, and the original manga soared in this category, and the anime, it's not that the base was bad, it just it couldn't hold up what it was building up to. It physically could not. The structure was not there. And it's a pitfall of the times. It didn't have the rest of the manga to build off of. I'm sure if they had, we'd be talking completely different. I digress. Because of that, I would say no. Like, just go read the manga. Read the manga, watch the anime if you're super bored and have already read it, and get mad with me. Or just be happy that it has some kind of adaptation. If you're able to be optimistic like that, do it. I do not have that ability. Like, when I know that the original author already had an answer for this and you're dancing around it because you're dumb, I'm an angry bitch. I don't like that. So yeah, I unfortunately would have to say no. Just go read the manga. It's a short read, 35 chapters. It's on the internet, and it's easier to access.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one yes and two no's.
Well, mine was a soft yes. It was a if you're bored and don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, that's fair. You gotta and
meh.
two, you gotta a meh and a just skip it.
Again,
Which sucks, because this was my recommendation. I am so heartbroken right now.
and again, I think if they decide to do a
Oh God, yes.
adaptation more towards the anime, I'd highly recommend it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it.
if this
If you
gets
see
rebooted,
this name pop up in the next like 2 or 4 years with like reboot on it, jump on that shit faster than you can say what is it. Just be like, sign me up.
Done and
I'll
done.
figure it out later. Like, the only reason I say no is because of the holes. I don't like
I don't like the holes that they left.
I like holes. I don't like Swiss cheese.
yes.
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 I want a
Alright.
to poke a pretzel through it. I don't want to have to worry about its structural integrity.
So with final closing, I think we're gonna go with a only if you're absolutely have nothing else to do bored, we recommend it.
Yep.
3, 2, and now leaving off. Where's our socials? Sorry. I'm trying to do this right.
I appreciate you.
I even rewrote it for you.
I'm so proud of you. Thanks for listening this week's episode. No, shut up. I'm sorry. My brain's going. It's bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Who wants to read it now? Because I've tried it.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you want more content or want to see some of the things we referenced in the show or just want to say hi, please follow us at wsiwtpodcast on Instagram and Twitter or on TikTok and Facebook at Why Should I Watch That? We've also got a YouTube where you can listen to our episodes and also watch our live shows. I will eventually get them updated.
We've had our snacks.
We've said our facts.
We've told you that you shouldn't watch that.
Have a wonderful evening, great week, and enjoy your pastimes. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
This month's theme is anime. Please listen closely to the clip of the theme song following to try and guess what next week's topic is.